So as the title and thumbnail suggest, I have put down over 250,000 frog lights in this gigantic hole that I had dug. Let's get into that time lapse. Now you may be wondering, why in the devil? Why would I ever dig out a 31 by 32 chunk, which is well over 1 million blocks, I'm pretty sure. At least I think so. It seems like a lot of blocks. Either way, why would I do that? Well, as some people may know, some people may not. Maybe it's your first time seeing the video. Howdy. I'm trying to rebuild Omashu. Now, Omashu is a city within, basically, it's a city within a desert. However, the background behind Omashu is a little more interesting. Two lovers met on top of the mountain that divided their villages. But sadly, the villages were enemies, preventing them from being together. However, that didn't stop them. They learned how to earthbend by studying the badger moles and became the first earthbenders. They made elaborate tunnels within the mountain so anyone following them would get lost. One day the man didn't come and meet her. He had been killed in a war between the villages. Devastated, she unleashed a powerful display of her earthbending abilities and declared the war over. The two villages helped her build a city for them to live together in peace. The woman's name was Oma and the man's name was Shu, and the city was named after the two. And so within Omashu, it's actually surrounded by basically a giant chasm and within a desert. So what I had to do within the game was to try and simulate that. Now obviously in the show, the screenshots I'm able to see, you can't see the bottom of it. You just see a haze. Now in Minecraft, I can't exactly do that in the way that I'd want to by putting like just smoke on the ground, which would be really cool, but I can't do that. So I have to do a fog effect. Now with the fog effect, you have to do a light block of some sort, so whether it's frog lights, sea lanterns, or even glowstone, maybe a couple others, but either way, I picked frog lights because they were the easiest to farm. And then on top of that, you have to put the color of the sort of fog you want. Now I'm going to be putting brown carpet to get more of like the dusty look. And then you actually have to surround it, well, it's better to surround it by a similar looking block, usually using concrete. I have to use brown concrete. And so my goal here is to make a fog effect for Omashu so it actually looks a lot deeper than it is when it's actually all said and done built. So after a while of laying the frog lights down, I decided to go in, change tactics a bit, and head to the end and actually start making a storage system and shulker loader for the amount of sand I'm going to need, which is an astronomical amount. So I headed over, I built the first version, but I realized it wasn't fast enough to keep up. I did a couple tests and it was way too slow. Hopper speed was not able to keep up with it. So either A, I had to build multiple modules of that and just let it go, which would have been fine, but I wanted something a little faster. And so I was able to actually find a creator by the name of Strom who released a world download for a froglight farm that he had worked on. Pretty sure he worked on that specific one. Either way, he explains it better in his video. But I took the world down from that and grabbed the sorting system, and from there I was able to throw that into this world and it works beautifully. It's three hoppers loading into one shulker, so it's able to keep up 98% of the time. It does get full though, and so that's why I built a second one, that way I can kind of catch the extras, and it works fabulously. So basically halfway through of putting down the frog lights, I was chatting with a buddy of mine, Lem, and he suggested in passing, well, while he was streaming, that I could just put down beacons for the speed effect. I don't know why, but I never thought of that. Like, it didn't cross my mind in the least. I was just running back and forth, nonchalantly, just placing them down. And finally I was like, well, by golly, Lem, you're a genius. And so, what I did next, I went and I killed the Wither many more times. I think I only had a handful of beacons, but obviously I'm going to need a lot more. So that meant I had to go and kill the Wither quite a few times. However, it was very slow going. I need to make a specific Wither killing sword with like smite and stuff. I finally did it after, I think it did just over a stack of Wither skulls to actually finish it off and then go and finish off the frog lights. Thankfully, it's almost done, I promise. The worst part while doing this last bit of the section was that I could see it getting closer, but at the same time it didn't feel like it was getting closer. It was one of the most annoying things. But finally, after setting up the beacons and being able to run back and forth, after a little while I would actually have to rebuild more beacons because, well, I would run out of the range. I would run out of the range of the actual beacons, so I had to put more down. So to do the entire area, there's going to be so many. I don't really even know, but it's a lot. So finally, at the end, oh, we're there. It's beautiful. It's a stupid amount of frog lights. Now the end result of the frog lights are 264,609 frog lights. That is how many I placed down. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe, that way you don't miss the future updates from the world. But this is, well, this is what it looks like down at Ground Zero. Now I've already started on the circle, which the outer ring is obviously the outer wall of Omashu, and then the inner wall. However, I still need to put in the towers that are actually surrounding Omashu, so, you know, probably on the corners, and then like right here, I'll have those. But next up is laying down the carpet. It's gonna be the same thing as the frog lights, which is just a bunch of back and forth. But this time I'm going to put a lot more beacons so I can actually just run very quickly back and forth, back and forth. Should make it quite a bit faster. I hope. But either way, hopefully you enjoyed, and that's the whole reason why this has taken so long to come out. It's just it's very boring work. So either way, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Do take care of yourself. Toodles!